Hello, trading is closed on July 9th, 2020. We'll go over our calls. Look for the pattern with the early low. This is it. Tomorrow has the early high. We said there were a number of negative things about yesterday's action, and if you were a bull, we had to gap over yesterday's high or else significantly lower prices would print. Well, we did gap over it, but then it was closed immediately, and once it was closed, there was no gap. And then we got the big drop. And this is just what we said. Without the gap, much lower prices. Norm Linsky will be back tomorrow. Here are next week's patterns. During the day, MEJT gave a sell signal early. The minimum target was met immediately, but the minimum doesn't require us to stop. I mean, it doesn't preclude more than the minimum, and that's what happened. System said this move up wouldn't stick, said this drop wouldn't stick, said this big rally wouldn't stick, and so we've retraced. Well, this is still the count we're using. It still works, but hasn't been confirmed. And confirmation is to go under some of these lows. And until that happens, you have to keep your eraser handy. And this is the count close up. You can see these nice Fibonacci levels we hit. If we're in wave C, blue C, there's a beautiful count. This could be 1. You've got great fibs for an ABC for 2, which retraces half of 1. And just because this count works doesn't mean others don't. But right now we have impulsive moves down, corrective overlapping moves up. Certainly suggests that the next move is going to be down, and all these up moves are corrective waves. Just because this count works doesn't mean others do not. But if we move down sharply tomorrow, ideally by gapping under this low, which isn't required, but would be, either gapping under it or trading under it promptly. It's not required, but it certainly is compatible with this count. If that were to happen, I think that would confirm that this high was going to hold. Now it's positive that we moved under all recent lows and couldn't close under them. That's a rejection of the lows. But it's negative that this all-day rally couldn't close over any of these highs. It means the rally didn't accomplish anything. And usually these things get resolved one way or the other pretty fast. Tomorrow's pattern has the early high. Doesn't mean you won't gap down. Typically it's a rally day with a high in the final hour. Failure is a straight line drop. It's positive the drop under recent lows didn't hold. It's negative the day-long rally couldn't close over recent highs. We use the mixed signal rules. If we move down smartly, tomorrow's open. And I know today's low is pretty far off, and I'm not saying this will happen, but if that happens, it's pretty hard to see how we recover. That would imply we're entering a strong impulsive wave down. Now, it doesn't mean we're going up if that doesn't happen. That doesn't mean that will happen. But if we're going to be in a wave 3 down, if that's the right count, the sooner it looks like a wave 3 down, the more convincing it is. And if we piddle around instead, we have to get the erasers out. So we're going to have to look at tomorrow's open carefully. But for right now, I think this is a negative pattern. And if we start a strong move down, it should have legs. And if we don't, then we have to reassess the situation because it's not forced at this point. And that's today's call.